Alright, hello YouTube, this is Card Games 2 coming at you. I'm doing a late night video right now. It's about 1:30 in the morning. Yep, I know. You can probably tell by my unkempt face and raggy, nasty looking hair. Yeah, awesome. Yep, this is what a healthy college will do to you. Anyway, so we have big news. Big news. The OCG ban list has been released, and as we all know, what happens in the OCG basically happens to the TCG ban list. Alright, and at first glance, this ban list, I really don't feel it's anything special. I feel it does what it needs to be done, but it really doesn't mix anything up. Doesn't really toss a surprise at us. Really, I'm just going to go through the ban list, say how I think about it. I've just spent like the past 3 hours talking to my teammates about it. Everybody has a different say on some things. I'm going to tell you some consensuses we came up with about some cards, but yeah, in general, this ban list basically just does what it has to do. Alright, well, I'll start off and I'll show you what I mean by that. Alright, the first thing we have is actually kind of a surprise to people. I haven't really seen any predictions about it, but the general consensus I'm getting is, yeah, first card on the ban list, Yugioh Guardian, and it kind of needed to be banned. It was a 6-star monster, which is the easiest to synchro to. It was a 6-star monster with 2800 attack, which is higher than most synchros, like in any star level. It has one of the highest attacks, and its effect is basically amazing. Yeah, it's a card that was way too powerful for how it was. If Yugioh Guardian was an 8-star monster, I could see that being a lot fairer. But as it is right now, Yugioh Guardian kind of makes some synchro strategies risky, because you always know that there's level 6 2800 beater that your opponent can synchro summon basically anytime, really. Alright, and that's how we feel. That's basically how all of Team Nexus feels right now. Yugioh Guardian need to be hit, plain and simple. The other card that was hit, Cold Wave. Cold Wave, yeah, it needed to be hit. It was too good. Play Cold Wave on your turn. If your opponent has nothing set, they won't have a back row for 2 turns. You have free reign for your next 2 turns to do whatever you want with monsters. And on your second turn, you can even do what you want with Magic and Trap. So yeah, it was just too good. A lot of decks used it and abused it, basically. So yeah, had to be hit. Can't have that kind of card in the game anymore. And the final card to get banned was Mass Driver. I'm kind of happy about this because I really don't like FTK, OTK kind of decks. Especially ones that use Mass Driver. I'm going to go through my entire deck, kill every monster I have, and win the game. It's basically, I'm going to watch you play and I'm going to lose because there's nothing I can do. Yeah, I just don't like that deck. One of my teammates, Stein the Kid, lost to a Mass Driver FTK deck at Nats last year, and you can't even say that's fun to play against. You sit there, you watch your opponent play, and if they get the right cards, you lose. I'm glad it's gone. I really did not like that card. I think it made the game a lot less fun. Alright, well, that's the ban list. You have Yugioh, Cold Wave, and Mass Driver. What we have next is the limited cards. And I do realize that this video is going to be kind of long, so I do apologize. I'll try to add breaks in here where it's like, alright, I'm moving to limited. If you want to skip here, go to limited, or if you want to skip like the next 4 minutes or something. Alright, well, the limited cards. The additions to the limited were Honest. Honest is being dropped down to 1. A couple of people I know at first were like, why did Honest get hit? Was it really that good? And Honest got hit because over in the OCG, Hyperion Fairies is going toe-to-toe with Gateway at 3/6 Samurais. If that says anything about the deck, it's quite good. So, yeah, Honest just can't be... Honest can't be at, like, 2, I believe it was, or 3. Oh, well, whatever. Honest has to be at 1. It's the only way it makes it even balanced, and we'll see how that goes once the deck comes out, really. But after that, the next one is Dandelion, and basically goodbye Quick Draw. Goodbye, like, Plant Synchro, because Dandelion made those decks. Dandelion was the reason those decks were good. With only one, its consistency is really hit. Like, really hit. To the point where I'm questioning whether they can come anywhere close to topping anymore. Dandelion made the deck. That's basically all I can say, and it being at 1 really hurts it. Really hurts it. Alright, the next card is Blackwing, Clute the Moonshadow. He is now limited. He went from 3 to 1. At first, I thought this and the card I'm going to get to a little bit later, this Icarus attack being semi-limited, destroyed Blackwings. I thought it completely moved the deck away from a top-tier competitor like it's been for the past couple formats, and has moved it finally down to tier 2. But after talking to Stein the Kid and Crescent Moon, I've decided Blackwings are still viable. Once Duelist Pack Pro comes out, it's still viable. You have, what was it? There's the one trap card where it's whenever a Blackwing is special summoned, return 1 card on your opponent's side of the field to their hand, 1 monster, and gain life points equal to its attack, Black Return. That's it. The trap card Black Return, which is kind of slow, but you add it in where the 3rd Icarus used to be, and there's another one that they had, if I can find that. Hold on 1 second. Nope, that's not the card I want. Not the card. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Never mind, I thought I had it up for a second, but I guess I didn't. There's another Blackwings monster. It's, kind of like Clute, but you discard it from the hand, and the Blackwing monster cannot be destroyed by battle. So, it basically keeps your cards alive longer. You'd run 2 in place of the Clute, and Blackwings are okay still. I really don't like it because I think Blackwings should kind of go away. They've always been a top tier competitive deck, and they still are. I'd kind of like to see some other decks at the top, like Zombies. I love Zombies. Zombies is such a fun deck for me to play. It really suits my play style. I can't even say I really like playing a Blackwing deck. I don't like playing with it. Playing against it, it's a really tough deck to play against, and my record with them is 1-1 at regionals, so we'll see. But yeah, Blackwing, Clute the Moonshadow, it's now limited. Hurts the deck's aggressive power, but all it has to do is switch back to a more defensive playing game until it gets Armor Master out, and then it can start being aggressive again. But yeah, that's Clute. Alright, the next card that we have coming up is Book of Moon. Book of Moon is now limited. I know a lot of people who dislike this a lot, who really dislike Book of Moon being limited. Everybody knew Book was probably on the chopping block for getting hit, mainly because it's the card of this format. If you pick any deck, it will be running Book of Moon. Book of Moon is what slowed down the game enough to make all these different decks viable that we were seeing until Storm of Ragnarok came out. So yeah, it's what made Scraps have a chance. Actually, I'll talk about Scraps in a bit at the end of this video. But yeah, it just made a lot more decks viable and slowed down the game enough to do that. And it at 1 is It's going to speed the game up. That's basically all I can say about that. Really, with Book being hit, I could see what I was thinking, and this is just me, I don't really know. I haven't ran a deck that's needed traps for a good 4 months, but I could see with Book being limited, people running 2 traps in place and Royal Decree builds actually getting a little bit stronger. That's just my call. It's kind of a guess. We'll see. I really want to see what happens after this ban list and see what decks are still competitive. Because of the next card, really. The next thing that got limited was Gateway of the Six. This is kind of the Black Whirlwind on steroids for 6 SAM. It's just really, really good. Now, one of my teammates, PSol10, has said that even with Gateway at 1, the deck is still highly competitive. I believe that. And he said it might even still be broken. I'm kind of hoping that that's not true, that 6 SAMs have been weakened enough with Gateway at 1 to allow for more decks to come back up, because right now the fact that 6 SAMs is so good is limiting this format in the decks that are playable. Gateway was the card that had to be hit. It had to go to 1 to make this viable, to make this format viable for any deck, basically, especially with it hits the Black Lanes until Duelist Pack Pro comes out. So yeah, Gateway to 6 is now at 1. I want to see what decks are competitive against it now. I'm curious. I don't know enough about 6 SAM. I'll have to wait and see. Alright, and that is it for Limited. To go over it again, you have Honest, Dandelion, Clute the Moonshadow, Book of Moon, and Gateway of the Six as being limited this format. Alright, next we will be going on to semi-limited. There are currently 9 cards that were added to the semi-limit list, and we'll be starting it off with Card Trooper. The reasoning I see behind Card Trooper was it wasn't hurting anybody at 1. I think we can move it to 2. Let's move it to 2. That's basically what I see around it. I think it's a pretty balanced card. It can become a 1900 beater, but you have to mill the top 3 cards of your deck, and I feel like that's really just a lot of luck. I personally don't like to use decks that revolve around milling because I just seem to be unlucky most of the time, really. So I try to use decks that rely on a lot of skill. So Card Trooper, I feel it's a pretty balanced card. Oh, also, when it's destroyed, you can draw a card. I feel it's a really balanced card. I see no reason not to have it at 2. So yeah, Card Trooper is at 2 now. The next card we have is Archlord Christia. Now, a lot of people will be saying, wait, Archlord Christia, where is that coming from? It didn't do anything in this format, really. And the reason Archlord Christia is at 2 is, again, a precaution for Hyperion Fairies. Well, for us, it's a precaution. For the OCG, it's needed to make the Hyperion Fairies deck more balanced. So yeah, Archlord Christia is now at 2. I really don't see that as a big problem for any of the decks. That's basically what I'm saying. The next card we have is Spirit Reaper. Spirit Reaper, it's kind of the same logic as to why it was moved up to 2 as Card Trooper. Konami was like, alright, this card, it's not hurting anything at 1. We're not seeing it used a whole lot. I have seen Spirit Reaper used in, Monarchs before, so we'll see. I could see 2 Spirit Reapers being used in Monarchs. It's a pretty good stall card. So yeah, with Spirit Reaper at 2, I really don't think a lot of decks are going to take advantage of that. The few that are going to enjoy it and get a little bit better for it. So yeah, and moving on, the next card we have is Debris Dragon at 2. I could see this because of the huge success of Debris Hime. I personally did not like Debris Hime a lot because it basically screwed me over in my last duel at Columbus. Alright, Debris Dragon, Black Rose go boom after I remove my Droder. Drill Warrior comes back, add Debris Dragon, Black Rose go boom, just repeat, and I'm like, I just got tired of it. Debris Dragon's a really good card. It saw a ton of use in Quick Draw and Debris Hime. So yeah, I could definitely see the reasoning to having it go to 2. Those decks were really strong. At least I thought they were. Alright, well, moving on. We have Royal Tribute. Actually, I actually would have liked Royal Tribute at 1. It is an extremely powerful card for Gravekeepers, but really Gravekeepers are going to need a lot of support in this format. I know that one Gravekeeper went in the top 32 at the YCS Dallas. I didn't really read any of the game recaps from that, so I can't really say if this is just a luck thing or what, but yeah, Gravekeepers took a little hit there. I would have preferred to see a little bit more, but I don't run the deck, I don't know enough to say it. So, yeah, I'm just happy they have one less to use against me now. Alright, and moving on, the next card that's semi-limited is Overload Fusion. Really, this doesn't mean a lot for decks. For those who don't know, Overload Fusion, it allows you to fusion summon a Dark Machine monster. Yes, that's right, a Dark Machine monster from your fusion summon Dark Machine monster from your extra deck, and by removing cards in play and in your graveyard. What I'm going to get from this is one of my friends, Giant Red Monkey. He is going to be running an OTK with using this card in Chimera Tech Overdragon in his Karakuri deck. It's actually kind of scary. For those of you who don't know what Chimera Tech Overdragon is Cyber Dragon plus one or more machine type monsters is how you fusion summon this card. This card's original attack and defense is 800 times the number of fusion material monsters used for this fusion summon, which late game can be really deadly. And also, this effect this effect is pretty bad. Each turn, this card can attack as many times as your opponent's why can't I read today? It's probably because it's 1:45 in the morning. Alright, each turn, this card can attack as many of your opponent's monsters as the number of fusion material monsters used for its fusion summon. So this card alone can basically wipe your opponent's field, if you have enough cards used to fusion summon it, which I'm assuming as a late game just finisher, that's going to be it. Alright, but really I see it being used in either Machina or Machina Gadget or Karakuri, and Karakuri is a deck that I feel is really up and coming, and it's going to be seeing a lot of use this format. It's a pretty good deck. The next card is Megamorph, is up to 2 now. I'm really indifferent about it. I never used that one, I never really thought about it. I'll have to see what kind of decks evolve, if any, around this card. Its effect is pretty powerful to double the attack if I have more life points, but it's really back and forth to see whether that happens or not. We'll have to see what happens with it. Alright, the next card that is added to the semi-limited list was Solemn Warning. Yeah, it basically needed to happen. 3 Solemn Warnings was a bit much. Now Solemn Warning I think is a really good card. It's really balanced. It has a great effect, but at a high cost of a fixed life points of 2,000. That means after 3,000 life points, all Solemn Warnings in your deck become useless unless you have a way to get back up. So yeah, Solemn Warning I feel 2 is a great place for it to be at, and it'll probably stay here. And the last card on the semi-limited list was Icarus Attack. Icarus Attack, it was a hit to Black Wings to try to help damage their back row, and it did for a bit, and it will hurt Black Wings until Duelist Back Row comes out, like I've mentioned before, and Black Return will get added in place of that last Icarus Attack. It's just how I feel the deck should be played. Maybe I don't know something, maybe I'm missing some key card that should be in there, but I feel Black Return will take the place of the one missing Icarus Attack. Alright, and that was semi-limited. To go over it again, you have Card Trooper, Archlord Christia, Spirit Reaper, Debris Dragon, Royal Tribute, Overload Fusion, Megamorph, Solemn Warning, and Icarus Attack. Alright, the next set I will be talking about is the last one, and that's the unlimited cards. What cards were previously limited or semi-limited or even banned and were brought back up to 3. Alright, we'll be jumping into that and starting off with Chaos Sorcerer. Last ban list we saw Chaos Sorcerer move from 1 to 2, and in this one we saw him move from 2 to 3. Chaos Sorcerer is a pretty good card. I've seen him used effectively a good number of times. But really, I don't think this is going to be a problem for a lot of decks. It will make Chaos-themed decks a little bit more viable because it will add to their consistency. But really, I really don't see this breaking anything at all. I feel that Chaos Sorcerer is fine at 3. It adds a lot of consistency to Chaos decks and makes them a little bit more viable to play. That's basically all that needs to be said. Next, Demise, King of Armageddon. I really don't know enough to make a judgment on this card. Truth be told, I just don't know. I've never played against a ritual-based deck before. I've never read up. I haven't read up enough on this card. I've read up a little bit and found out that there's some OTK surrounding this card. But really, I just don't know enough to make a call. If you guys would love to, I would love it if you left a comment there, kind of explaining how you feel Demise, King of Armageddon being at 3 will affect the game. If you don't think it will affect it at all, please let me know, because right now, I just can't make a call on it. I don't feel like it will. I feel that rituals are a little too slow with synchros out, but like I said, I don't have enough information. Can't make a call. Alright, the next card that is unlimited is Snipe Hunter. Really, I don't think Snipe Hunter is going to see a lot of use. Snipe Hunter got moved up to 2, and the only deck I've seen it used in is a Final Countdown stall deck. Yeah, I really don't see it being used that much. I think, again, PSOL 10 said that not Karakuri, but Fabled might use it some more. We'll see. I'm not really sure. I personally don't like it. Like I said, I don't like using cards that revolve around luck a lot, so yeah. That's how I feel about it. The next card that's unlimited is Delorean, Tiger Prince of the Ice Barrier. Just saying, I really like Delorean in my Ice Barrier deck. The reuse of Call of the Haunted and Gravity Bind is amazing. I love it. Return both those cards to my hand, increases attack power to punch over basically any monster my opponent has. Reset the cards and then activated them again for renewed benefits. Gravity Bind to keep up the stall and preventing my opponent from attacking and having just another card they have to get over. And Call of the Haunted just for more return. Call of the Haunted is a great card. I like it for Ice Barriers. I really don't know a lot of decks that would synchro out Delorean. So, yeah, I think he's a fine card to have at 3. I really saw no issue with him being at 2. So, yeah. The next card that we have is Gold Sarcophagus, moving up to 3. Gold Sarco, I feel it's fine at 3. The way I feel this format's going to go, the decks in it are going to be pretty fast, and Gold Sarko's kind of slow, so I don't see a problem with it being at 3. Light Swarms would like this, maybe to replace their Fallen Honest to try to get better cards in hand, but we'll see. Actually, I feel maybe his Flame Swarm deck, Peace All 10 again. Peace All 10 has a lot of decks, and I wish he would put more of them online, because he hasn't recorded a video in a while. Alright, but yeah, Gold Sarko is now at 3. 2 more to go. Second to last one is Skill Drain, moving up to Unlimited. The way this game is played, I really don't see a lot of decks that would use Skill Drain. The big ones... big ones I see using Skill Drain, if any at all. I know there's a zombie variation that uses Skill Drain, and... I'm sorry, I'm a little bit tired. It's getting closer to 2 o'clock in the morning. As you can probably see, this video is going on way too long. Alright, but yeah, Skill Drain, I know a zombie build that uses Skill Drain and Skill Drain at 3, and I'm indifferent about it, really. I really don't think it's going to change the game that much. And then, finally, the last card that's up to 3 is Ultimate Offerings. Again, kind of like Skill Drain. I really don't see it being used that much. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for the Unlimited. Again, I will recap. We have Chaos Sorcerer, Demise, King of Armageddon, Snipe Hunter, DeLorean, Tiger Prince of the Ice Barrier, Gold Sarko, Skill Drain, and Ultimate Offering. Alright, and basically for everybody, if you skipped ahead to this part, I will go over the list one more time for everybody, starting with Forbidden. The Forbidden cards are Goyo Guardian, Cold Wave, and Mass Driver. The limited cards are Honest, Dandelion, Blackwing, Include the Moon Shadow, Book of Moon, Gateway of the Six. The semi-limited cards are Card Trooper, Archlord Christia, Spirit Reaper, Debris Dragon, Royal Tribute, Overload Fusion, Megamorph, Solemn Warning, and Icarus Attack. And the unlimited cards are Chaos Sorcerer, Demise, King of Armageddon, Snipe Hunter, DeLorean, Tiger Prince of the Ice Barrier, Gold Sarcophagus, Skill Drain, and Ultimate Offering. And that's the OCG ban list. I really don't think I really don't think anything's going to change for the TCG. Maybe something with Dark Soul, maybe a semi-limiting of Dark Soul. We're not sure. Like I said, we'll see when it comes out. I really don't think anything's going to change, though. Anything else? Again, put a comment on how you think Demise, King of Armageddon is going to affect the format. I don't know enough, and I'd like to learn a little bit more about it. And if you want to discuss anything else, or if you disagree with me, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your reasoning on some of this stuff. I might have completely overmissed something. Ugh. That was a terrible sentence. I apologize. I might have completely overlooked something. And yeah. Again, I apologize for my crazy looking hair and everything. It is kind of late at night. And I'll do some quick shout outs. I'd like to give a shout out to my team, Team Nexus, and everybody who's in it, which includes Stein the Kid, P-Sol 10, Giant Red Monkey, and Crescent Moon, some numbers after it. He hasn't made any videos yet, so don't worry about it. He said he would, but if you're wondering who Crescent Moon is, he's the guy who had the Naturia Gigavise and Quick Drop Plants, plus I did a discussion with him a little while ago. I forget how long ago that was. We were talking about Storm of Ragnarok release, actually. But yeah, that's the ban list. I don't think it's really anything special. It does what it needs to be done. There are really no surprise cards like last ban list. Kind of like kind of like a Dark Hole or a Monster Reborn, and I feel they probably could have done a lot more. I would have liked to see Mizuki semi-limited. I would like to see D-Draw semi-limited. I just add to the speed of some of those decks. I feel it would make a lot of decks more viable without breaking anything. It would move some tier 2 decks up to tier 1.5 or maybe tier 1. We'd have to see, but I think those two changes would have made a lot of difference in the game that I would have liked, but as it is now, oh god, I'm tired. I'm sorry. I apologize for all my yawning. But as I see it right now, Blackwings have to wait for Duelist Pack Crow to be really competitive again, but they will be. And 6 Sams are now on a semi-level playing field. I don't know. I'd have to see how Gateway plays out. My one friend, D-Sultan, is going to be building 6 Sam, and he has the card Proxy. He said the hit to Gateway isn't as bad as many people think it would be. Oh well. But anyway, this has been Card Games 2. Peace out, YouTube.